Hello and welcome. You've tuned in for another episode of Focus On with me, Gauteng. Gauteng MEC for Finance, Jacob Mamabolo, tabled his medium-term budget policy statement at the Gauteng legislature, adjusting the budget by a net 4.6 billion from 158 billion rand to 163.5 billion rand. Health and infrastructure received a lion's share of this budget, and for this I am joined by Nomantung Komoralehoka, who is the Gauteng MEC for Health in the province, as well as Kidiboni Diale Tlabela, the MEC for Transport and Roads in the province. Following Gauteng MEC Jacob Mamabolo's speech, a lion's share of the Gauteng provincial budget has been allocated to health. Also, following the earlier statement that was given in March, what does this mean for your department, and what are some of the plans underway to utilize this money?
We are really grateful about this because we know that the department needs a lot of money, especially now when we're rolling out some of the programs to the communities. But the 2.5 billion is going to take us a long way, because some of that money will go to compensation of employees, and some will be beefing up some of the areas where we still have a shortage, which is the capacity of our personnel in our hospitals. So that's going to help us. But besides that, we have a program that Premier wanted us to do, which is part of the Premier's elevated priorities of focusing in informal settlements, hostels, and townships. So that part of the money will definitely utilize it when we go to communities, especially now intensifying our work on HIV and AIDS. That is part of the issues, including TB and other non-communicable diseases that we are trying to address in the province. And I think because we need to meet 95, 95, 95, which is the plan that national government, including WHO, wants us to focus on. So we will definitely utilize the money. And I think, and you are aware that even the Treasury doesn't have enough money. There are fiscal constraints, but they managed to allocate the money, at least to us as a Department of Health. We are really grateful for that money. It will take us a long way because already we were having a problem. Remember, Premier made a call that we must bring back the COVID-19 employees. So part of the money will be utilizing it to assist those employees that are back now in the hospitals who have joined the department.
Now, an issue that presents itself in the Gauteng Department of Health is that the capacity does not match the demand for healthcare. With this 2.5 billion that has been allocated, what are some of the plans your department have in place to tackle this?
We're doing assessment. In fact, even yesterday, it's like you were part of my meeting that I had of the executive. I've said to them they must do an assessment, hospital by hospital, check in terms of who is there, who is employed. But I know we have a shortage of midwives because most of them are old, they are taking pension. And we want now to beef up that area. We have training programs that are going to be specifically focusing on them. And we have an agreement that we have signed with some of the TVET colleges and universities, including our nursing colleges, to intensify the training so that at least we have more capacity when it comes to our nurses, so that we don't rely on agencies. I'm sure at some stage when I had an interview with yourselves, I was saying we have a lot of money that we have go to agencies that we need them to assist us in terms of the capacity, which is the personnel in our hospitals and in our clinics. But now once we do that assessment, we will know who's supposed to go to which hospital. The other area that it's going to help us in terms of this is the mental health, because we need some more now trained nurses specifically for mental health. We've extended some wards in almost all the hospitals. We're renovating even Pethaqwa, the old Pethaqwa hospital, to accommodate about 100 beds, and we will need staff in that hospital. You have seen at Para, we've just opened up another facility at Para that is going to deal with acute mental health that we're experiencing. They will be there 2-3 days before we can transfer them to another hospital. Even there, we're busy at making sure that we have capacity that are in those hospitals here.
Now, following on from the previous policy statement, a large majority, 83%, was allocated to the social cluster, including health. Now, looking to today and the additional money that has been allocated, has the department been making inroads with regards to some of the constraints that the Gauteng Health Department faces?
We have been making some inroads in those specific areas, but again, the other area, which is the infrastructure, we are making sure that now we're renovating our hospitals, our clinics. But the interesting one is that part of the renovations that we do are the clinics that belongs to municipalities. But because those clinics still we service them as the provincial government, we do assist them. So part of the issues that we're experiencing in the province, it's not only our own, it's for even for the province-wide, not specifically for the clinics that are responsible, that the Department of Health is responsible for them to monitor them. But we're not complaining, we're proud because we're servicing the citizens. And again, remember, NHI is coming. That's why we need to have the level of our, that is expected to comply for NHI when it comes to our clinics, including our hospitals.
Now, I understand that the medium to long-term strategy for revenue collection or growth within the Gauteng provincial government is the establishment of a state-owned bank as well as a pharmaceutical company. What is the latest update and the approach your department is taking to see this to fruition?
I'm working very closely with MEC Mamabulo on the pharmaceutical. Any decision that they do, even some of our teams are part of the pharma because they can't do anything that is not SAPRA compliant. So hence we're working very closely together. And I think the plans of making sure that the pharma operates soon, well, that's what we're saying with MEC Mamabulo. And we'll be taking some of the staff already that is at the medical supply depot. The MSD team will join the pharma once it starts pharma operating. So it's going to be our base, the medical supply depot, which is our own as a provincial department that we are running. So we're working very closely. The CEO is sitting in every meeting that the team from the pharma is doing, preparing for the opening of the pharmaceutical company. On the revenue collection, which you know that it's very close to my heart. Remember, I was spearheading that revenue collection strategy in the Department of Finance. I'm insisting that the team from health, we can bring more money to the coffers of the provincial government. We're going to open up the clinics, these travel clinics. You remember where travel clinics at the airport, including other areas. We'll open those clinics soon so that they can bring money to the coffers of the provincial government. There are a lot of things that I've said the team must identify in a document that is going to help us to bring back more revenue in the hospitals. Part of those is even to go back to what we used to do before, of checking our cooperating with private sector when it comes to the OHS, which is health occupational certificates that they must have for their employees. Big companies are going to bring their people in our hospitals and we will charge them for that. It used to be done before, now it was no longer done, but I'm resuscitating all the areas where we can bring more money.
MEC, what are some of your reflections from MEC Mamabolo's medium-term budget policy statement?
The adjusted budget presented today was to assist us and augment us as a provincial government on the elevated priorities as pronounced by the Premier in his State of the Province address. And you've seen that we have been adjusted upwards as the Department of Roads and Transport in Gauteng. And that is to assist us in completing and continuing with the road infrastructure program of the province.
Now, 80.7 million rand was allocated to your department. How and what will you adequately spend this money?
You'd understand that historically the department has not been performing very well, and ever since we took over, we tried to make sure that we accelerate on our infrastructure development programs as well as on other areas that we are responsible for. So amongst the budget is that 80.7 million that we will be using for expansion of DLTC centers to townships, the identified townships in the West Rand, in Tshwane, and in Ekurhuleni, as well as in Sedibeng. So we are ready. You say, how are you going to be able to spend the money in such a short period of time? The department has been preparing and planning and preparing to ensure that we spend accordingly. The adjusted budget And like I say, historically, we were not performing good as a department, and there have been some improvements and mechanisms that were put in place to ensure that we avoid under expenditure, but also we achieve the targets as we have set them. And one of the things that we did not have was enough budget to do that, and that's why you see now the provincial government is now allocating us more resources to be able to do the work and finish off what we have set ourselves to do.
Will you use some of the money allocated to upgrade or rehabilitate some of the road infrastructure?
Yes, there's 280 million set aside for the Imfuleni municipality. We are going to be upgrading the 40 roads identified. We work closely with the communities there, including the leadership in the municipality, on identifying those roads. And all we needed to do was then to request more resources from the provincial government. And now that we are allocated, we are ready to roll out. We've done all the necessary processes, and we will be kickstarting as soon as the money is transferred to our department.
And what are some of the deadlines for these projects?
Okay, this is upgrade of road infrastructure. It varies at the most depending on what we will be doing on those roads. Some of the roads require heavy rehabilitation. Some require light rehabilitation because their lifespan is still okay. It's just for us because some were not maintained for quite some time by the municipality. So they require some upgrade, including rehabilitation. So it's minor works that we are going to be doing. It's not really construction work. So it's a rehabilitation work that we will be doing. And at the most in one road, according to the team that we work with of engineers, it will take 2 to 3 weeks to finish a road infrastructure. So we are using about 13 contractors that will be rolling out this. And this is a program for 3 months. We are to finish by March 2024.
And that's how we wrap up this episode of Focus On at the Gauteng Legislature. For me, Gauteng, it's goodbye for now.